Hey, how y'all doing out there in video land? This is Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. Well, today we got an unboxing. It's going to be a new addition to my mega folders I like to carry. The mega folders I actually like to use and carry. And where's it coming from? GSM Cold Steel. GSM Cold Steel, people. GSM Cold Steel. That's right. It's another one from GSM Cold Steel. All right, let's go ahead and unbox it. Let me see what I got in my pocket today. My numero uno. My numero uno. Purple Haze. Purple Haze. Let me see, where do we want to unbox it from? Let's box from this side. Well, it's Purple Haze. It's a Austrian K110 D2 8020S from Demco Knives. It's one of the original ones. It's one that I found on eBay that needed a lot of work in order to get back to being fully functional and operational and looking good and standing tall and looking good. And here it is. Yes, it's been fully polished, modified by myself. It's got Andrew Demco or John Demco Purple JG10 scales on it. Original goat, aluminum backspacer that's been polished. All the internals and everything have been polished. The shark's fin's been polished. The blade's been polished. Everything's been polished by myself. One of my numero unos. My numero unos. That's my all-time favorite. It's got skiffs inside with a Lynch Northwest titanium pocket clip. Deep carry pocket clip. All right, people. What we got here? Oh, yeah. Big box. Big box. Let me see, where can I put this box? Put it over here. All right. What we got here? Oh, yeah. A new addition to my mega folders. I only have one more mega folder that I'm going to get. One more mega folder I'm going to get. You can sort of look at this table and you can sort of guess at which one I'm talking about. But these are all the mega folders I like to carry, people. These are the ones that aren't for show, they aren't for collecting, they are for using. They are the ones I like to actually carry. All right, let's go ahead and unbox this one. Okay, let's box it from this end. Just do this in the barcode. Trying to do this up without cutting the box. There we go. Okay, we got it. Looks like it's perfectly centered. It just looks like it doesn't look like it's perfectly centered because this is a Kris blade and it's ground a certain way, but it is centered perfectly, people. That's just the way the blade's ground. Well, maybe a little bit to the clip side. I'm going to take it back. Maybe a little bit to the clip side. A little bit to the clip side. Let's read the specs on it. All right, what we got here? Blade length, 6 inches. Overall length, 13 inches. Steel, AUS 10A. Weight, 7 ounces. Thickness, 4 millimeters. Handle, 7 inches. What's it made out of? Zyx. Zyx is the blade scale. It's a fully stainless steel lined knife with Zyx blade scales. This one's going to be staying out, people, so I'm going to put all this stuff away because I always keep the boxes in case I'm going to sell or trade something down the road. This is going to be a user for me, though, so probably not one that I would sell or trade. I tend to use ones I don't use for that. All right. Let's take it for a ride. Ooh, nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. think they call this the FDE handle skills, but it looks green to me. It looks like a OD green, sort of. So I'm not exactly sure what I'm supposed to be calling this. I'm going to call it OD green because it looks more OD green to me. And maybe it's my eyes, though. Maybe it's this room is kind of dark too, today because really overcast outside. So even with the windows open, it's still kind of dark in here. Oh. This is the new one, people. It's got the new markings. This is the new one that's going to go in my box. It's going to go in my box. Absolutely love it. Just got myself right there. Okay. Got to keep my fingers out the way. All right. All right. We're gonna tune and lube this one in a later video, but not in this video. Because this video I want to talk about the ones that are getting replaced. This one's getting the one that's getting replaced. All right, let's get into this video. This one is the only one left that I haven't replaced yet. Out of all the mega folders I like to carry, and which one is this? This is the largest Spada. And so this one's the next one that should be getting replaced, people. So it'll probably be next year because right now I gotta get ready for Christmas. Gotta start doing things for Christmas. And so this is the end of my knives for this year, for the new ones. I got two more that I haven't unboxed yet. And those are ones I plan on. It's like a project that I plan on putting together for next year. So I'm going to unbox those next year, people. And I'll tell you what they are. It's the 30-year anniversary Microtech MSIs, and I got one to turn into a titanium Microtech with my titanium kit that I received from Original Goat, and it's going to be the one that everybody likes. God, my mind's going blank on it, people. Gunstock. It's going to be the titanium gunstock, the fresh titanium gunstock ones. I'm going to be polishing them all out. And that'll be my project for next year. And that'll be my MSI that's going to be in my drawer too for next year. But anyway, let's get into these, people. I know this looks like a lot of knives, but these are knives that have been collected over the years, people. Not all within 1 year. These are like span over from the days of AUS 8A. So we're talking back probably like in 2010. So some of these knives are like 14 years old. So don't think that these are like a whole bunch of knives I bought in 1 year. No, I buy like one per year, 1 or 2 per year, people. This year I actually bought more because I'm replacing my old ones because I want to move on and stop using the old ones and stop showing you guys the old ones and show you the things that you can purchase now. And besides, I just want to put my old ones into the collection the collection pile and let them become collectors. My knives with stories, and I'm gonna have a new group of knives I'm gonna make new stories with. Anyway, here we go. Let's start off with the counterpoints. Counterpoint XL, one of my all-time favorites for mega folders to carry. And this is my CTS-BD1. CTS-BD1, Counterpoint XL. I had this for a lot of years, people. And now, well, it's getting replaced with the new ones. With the new Counterpoint XLs, it's got the new markings on it. That's the plain edge one. They advertise them with as having 6-inch blades, but they're actually a little bit under 6 inches. And they advertise them, I think, they still advertise them as having 4mm blade stock. It's actually like 3.8, right around 3.8, 3.9. It's real close. It's close enough to to say 4mm, I guess, and be able to get away with that. But it's not quite 4mm, people. I'm just being honest. And that's how all of these are. Any of these that you see advertised as being 4mm are actually really like 3.85 to 3.95, right around in there. To me, when you get 3.9, I'll call that 4mm all day long. But when it's 3.8, I like to call it 3.8. All right, people. Here we go. I'm not going to get into measuring all these and everything like that. I don't want to make the video that long. This is another one that replaced. So I got two replaced the old one, the old plain edge. One's a serrated edge. Oh yeah. I love the serrateds, people. I love the serrateds for self-defense folders. Oh yeah. The serrated edge. Hope I don't stab myself here. Let me see what I'm doing here. So those are the counterpoints. This is the old one that I've carried a lot, and these are the two new ones that I plan on carrying. This is the serrated knives I like to carry in the wintertime, like right now, when people are wearing a lot of clothes. So, if somebody attacks me that's, wearing thick clothing, the serrated edge will help me defend myself a little bit better than a plain edge would, I believe. All right, next up. And these are some of my favorites to carry of all time. And that's the reason why they all have the snaggletooth on them, because these are the ones I actually carry the most. Out of all these knives that you see on the table, next to the Tau Wars and the counterpoints, and the Ti-Lites. I like to carry Ti-Lites a lot too. But my top three would probably be the Voyagers, the Ti-Lites, and these two. These two I carry together. That's the reason why, you see me holding on to both of these, and I put them both over here. Because when I carry these, it's when I'm going on a long bike ride, motorcycle ride with, my friends or by myself. And I'll carry one of these inside my leather vest jacket. And I'll carry one of these inside of my front right pocket. They go together. That's the way I've always carried Tau Wars. Tau Wars and counterpoints to me always go together. Now, when it comes to these are knives I carry by themselves. And often when I'm carrying these is because it's hot outside and I don't want to wear a bunch of clothes, so I'm just wearing probably a t-shirt, like a Harley shirt or something, and some jeans and some shoes or whatever. And so I'll just carry one knife, and that'll be when I carry one of these or one of these. I like to carry these as solo knives too. And if you notice, all those knives that I like to carry like that are ones I could wave out my front pocket. I have them set up to wave out my front pocket. Those are my front pocket knives. Are the ones that are set to wave out my front pocket. And this is one of my favorites, all-time favorites right here. The reason why is because it's so inexpensive. They're easy to replace people if they get broken or damaged or confiscated or stolen or whatever. Whatever happens to them. They have to use them in an emergency situation. They get damaged and you want to replace it. You could always find these on sale in between like $45 and $65. The extra large like this. And I think this is one of the best value mega folders that's ever been made. It's the extra large Voyager series. And they make them in all sorts of different blade styles too. The Tonto blades are just my favorites. But they make them in a Filipino Kris, a Bowie clip blade, or a Vaquero blade, or the Tonto. They have all sorts of blades for these. Whatever you like. And my new one that I like is the barong. The barong, or what they call the drop point. I'm calling it the barong. To me, it looks like a Filipino barong machete or short sword type blade. I absolutely love this. This is a 5.5-inch blade. It's the saber hollow ground with the flat ground tip. Classic American Tonto, Lindsey Thompson American Tonto blade shape. And these handles are awesome. That's one thing I really like about these knives is the handles. Other than the price. And how easy they are to replace. And how effective they are as a self-defense tool. For actual self-defense tool, if you feel that you might be in combat or whatever, I highly recommend the Voyagers, people. The Voyagers are super awesome. All these knives on the table I would highly recommend. But the Voyager is the least expensive one on this table next to the Ti-Lites. So it's the easiest to replace. Sometimes these can be kind of costly. And these, these are kind of costly. Same thing. And this one, to me, is the best value for this type of knife, with the G10 and the size of it. Anyway, next up, here's another one of the new ones. This one's the one with plain edge. I got one with the plain edge, and one with the serrated edge. Same thing I did with the counterpoints. So just having a plain edge one. All the same specs, people. And they got the aluminum snaggletooths on them also. That's the way I like to roll my with my 5.5 inch XL Voyagers. This one I set up a little bit. I'm not going to set up like these, because these are my I think of these as like my motorcycle knives, self-defense knives, what have you. This one, I just want it to be like a big food prep knife. A good bug out bag knife that's, it's a knife that's good for everything. Can be for self-defense, can be for everything. It's got a nice thick blade. So you can use this for wood crafting. If you have to use this for making kindling or whatever, batoning through wood or whatever. This knife could do all that. It's a great all-around knife. I think it's a great knife to put in your bug out bag, people. Because this is a great food prep knife because it's a high saber flat ground blade. It's great for self-defense. Look at that handle. Beautiful knife, people. That's why I call the barong. The barong. I know Cold Steel calls it the drop point. I call it the barong. The barong. Next up is another one that I think is an extremely good value, just like the Cold Steel Voyager. I think this is extremely good value for G10 handled knives that are this size, 5.5 inches. You can get these things for, I don't know, in between 90 to like $130. It's got a 5.5 inch G10, 5.5 inch Japanese AUS 10A blade. Absolutely love it, people. It's an angelical design. Nice thick blade stock. It's got reinforced. It's got a reinforced triad lock system, where you got the partial liners that go through all the way through your handle from this screw right here all the way through these two pins right here that house your triad lock. It's got a 6061 aluminum backspacer. This one's been polished. This is one of my personal ones. This one I carried. I'm gonna get a new one though with the new markings. This is the old Cold Steel one. I want to get this one and the XL. So you could probably expect to see that from me next year. Oh yeah. Absolutely love the largest Spada, people. It's got a saber flat ground blade with a nice wedge, Spanish style, what I would call a Spanish style clip or bowie style blade. Absolutely love it. Highly recommend these. Let's see if I can fit everything in here. Maybe I'll do it over here. Okay. Next up, let's get into the Towel Wars. Next up, this is my new, this is the new Towel War. The new Towel War. And this one's a serrated one. Serrated Towel War. We got a 6061 aluminum backspacer, heat-treated backspacer, G10 handle scales. Pretty much a lot of the same specs as a Spada, only it doesn't have the extra partial liners for the triad lock. Another beautiful knife, people. Another beautiful knife. And this is my old one. This is my old one, people. This is the one that is so broken in, it's like it's on bearings. This is a Japanese AUS 8A. This is my most carried one. I still carry this one, people, because it's just fun to use. It's a fidgety XL Towel War. It's just totally broken in. The reason why it's like this, people, is because I've totally polished it on the inside. I mean, when I say polished it on the inside, I mean the actual scales I polished. I polished the G10 until it's like to a high polish on the inside. And that's what I used to do on my old ones back in the day, people, because I was trying to make them as smooth and fast as possible. And then it's got the phosphorus bronze washers and with the Teflon washer setup, the Demco setup, and the phosphorus bronze washers have been polished. The lock bar has been polished. Everything's been polished. The tang on this one's been polished. And it's rock solid. No side to side, no up and down. This knife is probably about 12 years old. It's been on just about every big motorcycle ride I've been on since in those 12 years. It's been highly used, highly carried. And the reason why I'm pointing that out is because somebody was saying that I don't use my knives. Well, yeah, I do. I do. It's just that they don't look all beat up because I got so many I can choose from all the time that none of them really get a chance to really get beat up looking unless something happens to them when I'm using them. And then I usually polish them all out and refinish them again. Try to make them look as new as possible again. That's what I do. But yeah, people, these knives get used. These knives get used. I got other ones that I don't use. I'm showing you the ones I do use. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love my Towel Wars. Towel War to me is like one of my favorite ones for a folding fighter. It's one of my favorites. These are all my favorite folding fighters, people. Why I like the handles. The handles, really make the blades. It's just like, all the different grips. Just like most of these knives got at least one or two grips. Some have 3 grips. And that's why I like in a big folding fighter. I like to have, different grips I could choose from or whatever. That's what I like. Plus a blade that looks intimidating. Because what's the use of, because I don't want to get in a fight. I don't want to ever have to hurt anybody. I don't look forward to any kind of thing like that. But I like to think that I'd like to practice, what I like to think I'd like to practice a lot is the art of fighting without fighting. Somebody sees one of these big old blades, they're coming at you acting crazy and stuff, and you pull out one of these big old blades, they stop dead in their tracks and they think twice. That's the purpose of a knife like this to me. Is to tell people, do you really want to mess with me? You know what I mean? Or do you want to walk away and breathe and fight another day? Because, I'm too old to be playing all these stupid games. I'm not going to play with people. I'm not going to cage fight you. I'm not going to wrestle you. I'm not going to do anything like that. I'm just going to try to hurt and get away from you. Now, I'm going to do it by any means necessary. Any means necessary, people. I'm a good person. I don't go around messing with anybody or doing anything to anybody, threatening anybody. So nobody has no reason to be messing with me. If they do, well, they're going to be in for a surprise. But anyway, next up. Absolutely love my holdouts. My holdouts always go with my Towel Wars. And this is my new serrated one. S35VN. The Towel Wars are S35VN. The Espadas I like to carry. These are the AUS 10A ones. All these Voyagers are AUS 10A. All these counterpoints, well, no, the two new counterpoints are AUS 10A. My old one right here is a CTS-BD1, the one that I like to carry. And these are the new ones. So these aren't as fast as the old ones, people. You can see that right there, right? Because this is a totally stock knife. It's been lubed and tuned, but that's it. It's not been broken in, and this one actually hasn't been, these two actually haven't been carried that much yet. Or this one, the two new ones. They're not like the old ones. The old ones have been carried a lot. I'm going to put them together. These are the two new ones. And see, they got the shiny pocket clips on both of them. On the old towel wars, they had the black pocket clips. I like that better. And here's the new one. I mean, the old one. And you can see, but you can see what the difference is going to be like on this one, people. This is my old Oz 8 one that I've used ever since I owned it. I use this for, cutting up meat in my kitchen. I mean, it's a great butcher's knife. It's like a folding chef's knife, if you ask me. And I like it as a backup knife to carry on the motorcycle because it's real flat. It doesn't imprint. Nobody even knows that you're carrying it when it's inside your leather vest. When you're carrying it in the gun pocket in your leather vest. In your cut. So it's a great backup knife. And I got a smaller set of these too, 4-inch blade set that I can carry inside the city when I'm on the motorcycle. But this is the highway set. All these knives are highway knives for me because in California, on the highway, there is no blade limits. All right. And last but not least, oh yeah, my nickname, my internet nickname, Kris Stiletto. And why? Because I love Kris Stilettos. And I really love these cold steel ones, people. These Ti-Lite 6s with the serrated blades. Oh man, a serrated Kris? This is too wicked. It's just too wicked. I love it. And these are super easy knives to carry. And they're also good as less than lethal tools too, because you can use them like a Cubiton. Use them on the wrist, grab a person's wrist, and use a pressure point. So, they got a lot of different uses or small, but baton, is an impact weapon, less than lethal impact weapon. So I really love the Ti-Lite, people. The Ti-Lite has a whole lot of self-defense purposes, and I think it's just a great knife. And does that blade look intimidating to you? Somebody, do you think this would scare away somebody that was trying to, attack you in night or something, or they saw this blade? I think, I know it'd make me not want to mess with somebody. I wouldn't want to mess with somebody that, put a blade like this on me. Hell no. Because it's serrated. So you're going to get cut. It's serrated, people. Let me see if these both, they look like they fit the same way. Okay. Okay. So they both favor the clip side a little bit. The old one and the new one. Absolutely love it. I know one thing I'm going to do. These scales aren't the stock scales for this one either. Because it came with the FDE, the flat dark earth ones. And they look a little bit more brown than these. These look more like a greenish color, like a mossy color. I really like this color. I'm sorry, maybe I won't change it, but I was thinking I was going to put these scales on this one, so I could have the black scales because I like the black scales for my self-defense folders. But this one, I don't know, I like it. I like the way it looks. So maybe I'm just going to leave it the way it is, people. But anyway, there it is there. There it is there. There it is there. Now the balance, you want to see what the balance is like. Balance on these. Now these are a little bit blade heavy. And that's because the Tonto blade is the heavier blade for the Voyager. But it's pretty much right at the front finger groove. But it is a little bit blade heavy. It doesn't sit right inside the finger groove. Same thing goes for this one. This one's a little bit blade heavy too, because you can see it has a nice thick blade. And so these tend to be a little bit on the blade heavy side, people. Now, if you get the Vaquero bounces out right, and so does the clip. I think the clip blade does too, if I remember right. The clip blade does too, because those are a little bit thinner blade stocks, and so they tend to balance out a little bit better. This one right here, Pretty much 50-50, people. It's a little bit blade heavy, just a touch bit blade heavy, but it's real close to 50-50. Real close to 50-50. Towel War's perfect. Towel War's perfect, people. That's right. This one's a perfect one. So that means it's easy to manipulate in your hand. I can't get you all in the whole screen there without hitting the other knives. So this one's another one that's easy to manipulate in hand, people. And that's the reason why I've always loved it. I've always loved these, the Towel Wars. Absolutely love the Towel War. Towel War. This one's handle heavy. A little bit handle heavy. Because I'm going by this groove right here. But it's pretty close though, people. But it's a little bit handle heavy. It feels good in hand. This is another one that feels good in hand. Highly recommend them, people. Let's see if we can get things lined up here. And these are handle heavy too, because you got steel all the way through the handle, so it makes these handle heavy. Counterpoint. Counterpoint's a little bit handle heavy also. You got the heat treated aluminum heat treated 6061 aluminum backspacer in this one. It has fully lined aluminum liners in it, 6061 aluminum liners in it. So it's got a lot of weight in the handle. Whereas like on the Voyager, this backspacer is a Grivex. So it helps balance out the knife a little bit better. All right, people. Well, those are my favorites. These are my favorites to carry. My actual favorites to carry for mega folders. For anybody that's ever wanted to know which mega folders I would recommend the most for actual, carrying for self-defense or what have you, it would be these. These are the ones I recommend the most, people. All right. Peace out. Stiletto.